The evil Iranian regime must be destroyed, and it will be. Anything less would be a huge defeat for President Trump, the U.S., and the free world. Hello, I'm Steve Forbes, and this is What's Ahead, where you get the insights you need to better navigate these turbulent times. The joint American-Israeli campaign against the murderous gang oppressing Iran must not cease until its gruesome government has been ended. President Trump's statement that the campaign may last several weeks and that he hasn't even ruled out sending in ground forces testifies to his determination. The goal of obliterating the reign of these murdering mullahs means relentlessly pounding all sources of their power. That would include bombing Karg Island, the chief terminal for exporting Iranian oil to China. All facilities for the development and manufacturing of drones, ballistic missiles, and nuclear assets not hit during the 12-day June war must be reduced to rubble. For the regime, survival would be a victory. Anything less than its downfall would be a defeat for the civilized world. Its fanatical Islamist revolutionary goals could be pursued again. Germany, after World War I, found ways to begin rearming, even as it was barred from doing so by the Treaty of Versailles. The mullahs will similarly pursue runarounds to undermine any peaceful promises they might make. They would count on the U.S. losing interest as it turns its attention to other matters. Europe could be bought off with lucrative deals, starting with oil. In fact, energy deals with Washington would be an incentive to turn a blind eye to future violations. Israel would be alone, a dreadful prospect. Regime survival would show a worried world that the U.S. doesn't have the will to see through difficult challenges. Iran's rulers are already trying to get a ceasefire to enable its tyranny to survive. It thought it could force Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states, and even Oman, which had been trying to broker a deal, to pressure the U.S. to back down by attacking them with missiles and drones. That is backfiring spectacularly. Another example of the mullah's catastrophic misjudgments. Iran may still have enough missiles to obstruct passage in the Strait of Hormuz, through which passes 20% of the world's oil and natural gas. The mullahs figure that potentially soaring gasoline prices will induce an election-worried White House to halt the war prematurely. Another factor Iran thinks will work in its favor is inflicting U.S. casualties. Also, Iran has nurtured sleeper terror cells in numerous countries. These, plus the shootings by individuals operating on their own, will, the mullahs hope, create political pressures to stop the U.S.-Israeli attacks. President Trump says he's willing to talk with Iran's new leaders. This begets questions. Have we been working behind the scenes with Iranian opposition groups? To facilitate regime change, are we supplying them with intelligence, money, and arms? Perhaps the Israelis and even the CIA have contacts with individuals in the military and even the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, who could both sow dissent and help support a new government. The fall of Iran's current government would not only remove a scourge in the Middle East, but also lead to the possibility of a profoundly positive strategic change in a dangerous world. Russia and China will be shown as unable to save its friends, Syria, Venezuela, Iran, and perhaps even Cuba. Of course, the U.S. knowing how to follow through on these opportunities is very much of an open question. For now, however, President Trump should be blunt. The sole purpose of any talks would be to set the stage for a smooth transfer of power to a new, non-revolutionary government. I'm Steve Forbes. Thanks for listening. Do send in your comments and suggestions, and I look forward to being with you soon again.